You guys sing Grace Mola? Huh? You got that Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit my music.
Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Baka Dead, fellas, where of course there is no sleep for the wicked. It's a new week, a new day, yet the same old Bakken Dead. It is Monday though, so we do have us hit and run with LJ, as we did have 5 pitchers in the Black Book going, but for some reason they canceled the Angels game, and don't tell me it was because of the weather. It's freaking beautiful outside today. Yeah, so enough small talk, guys, and let's get to the money. This show is sponsored by W, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by scanning the QR code on screen, you're going to get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Pub Sports, that is. If you haven't already, do me a favor and smash that like button and make sure you have them notification bells on. And as always, guys, I will read out the best bets at the end of the show. Just make sure you do hashtag WeBePubbin in your best bet, and I will get to it at the end. We're going to start the show, guys, what's becoming the most perfect name for this segment, as sometimes this man does have to hit and run and stops in his lunch breaks. And sometimes, like today, he gets off early. And I'm talking hit and run with LJ from H-Town.
And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better. See, I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy.
Usually I listen to music to get pumped up for the show. I don't got to when LJ's here, bro. I just fucking wait for his shit to start up. And what's good, my boy? How you been?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, Sharpie. Pleasure joining you once again. You know, try to get this money today. Got some couple of batters I'm interested in, so let's get to the money, man. Shout out to the chat, of course. Best chat on YouTube. AOD, Rocco Rogers, Justin Malfafy, and, of course, Mike M, RBIs. Let's cash some tickets, man.
Bro, Mike M came through on the weekend for your boys with a 585 casher, bro. Like, I like steak. But man, I had steak 2 times over the weekend, and it wasn't because this fucker's sitting in front of you guys. Let me talk to you. So let's get into the first game on the board for this man right here, and it's La Parada Day versus a guy named after the original head of the Crips. Bet you didn't know that. And I'm talking Tookie Toussaint, guys. And I'm going to take a wild guess, and I'm going to guess we taking a Mariner here, but, you know, could be wrong.
No, you're right. We're taking the hottest batter in the major leagues right now, Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, of course. Man, my man's been smashing, Sharpie. 35 hits in his last 18 games. 1+ hit, 22 out of his last 25 games. 22 hits out of his last 24 road games. 2+ bases, 9 out of his last 11 road games overall. I mean, this guy has just been ridiculous. And he's played the White Sox already 3 games early in June, I believe. And guess what? He had 2+ bases in all 3 of those games. So, of course, we're going to start off with Julio Rodriguez over 1.5 bases, -106, sir.
That's a good price too. Something else I heard up on Julio that popped across my screen when I was reading the other day, and he had 14 hits in a 4-game span. Nobody in the history of baseball has ever done that. Like
Yeah.
that's damn near like more than 4 hits a game, 4 days in a row, bro. What? What? Huh? Yeah, the dude's on another fucking level right now, bro.
Yeah.
And we going ahead and into the other game then, and it's another spot where I'm pretty sure what side you're going to be on, and this is the Mets and Braves, guys. We're going to head into what should be a matchup in a meaningful playoff series at this point in the seasons, but the Mets fell off a cliff, and the Braves are that cliff. So I'm gonna guess again that it's a pick on Peterson day, but I could be wrong.
No, you're right again, sir. And of course, we're going to the hottest batter on the Braves, Austin Riley. And you do know last year, Sharpie, I jumped on this guy after the All-Star break last year, and he was just cashing every time. So I'm back on the train, man. He's batting 444 versus Peterson in 20 plate appearances, 1+ hit, 21 out of his last 25 games. He's on a 17 out of his last 18 on base streak at home. 9 straight home games, 1+ hit versus the National League, 2+ bases the last 7 games versus the Mets. So he knows this team very well. He knows this pitcher. And I always take Austin Riley at home because that's where he's comfortable batting behind Ron Acuna Jr., which normally is on base already. So might as well take it. Over 1.5 bases. And we're getting plus monies, +100 for this guy.
Ooh.
So I'm taking it.
That's as close as we're gonna call that a baby step stool as as Big Show would call it. That's close as you gonna get to plus money, bro. Even money. Plus monies. It's probably plus money on a real book because
Yeah.
my boy gives you his bets and he got to do with what he got to do with sometimes, and it's what I got to deal with, bro. And those offshores like to stick it to us when they can on any way they can. So, last game of the day, we're gonna end it, guys, in a game where I can't actually guess what side you're taking because this may be like the stack of stacks is gonna come from this on DraftKings tonight. And this is the Royals and Oakland game where, yeah, Paul Blackburn may pitch well, but we know fucking Marsh ain't. So it's just like, oh, Lord, how many runs could be here? So I couldn't pick what side, but I was like, oh, he might go Witt. Witt's hot. Witt's that dude. But I says, I don't know here. It could be Geloff. I know I'm saying his name wrong. But that dude's been hot too for the A's. So at a one-time point where I would never say Oakland A's, I cannot fault people for betting on Oakland A's players.
No, well, you were right the first time. We going with Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals, my guy. He's been on a hot streak as well. 1+ hit, 21 out of his last 25 games. He's 17 out of his last 18 on base streak. 2+ bases, 14 out of his last 18 games. And he's played Oakland twice already, and he had 2 hits and a home run in both of those games. So I'm going to jump on the over 1.5 bases +106. He's had 12 hits in his last 9 road games. So this guy's hot. So I'm going to jump on the hot streak and continue to cash with this guy as well. So Bobby Witt Jr. over 1.5 bases +106. And also got a bonus, Sharpie. If you parlay all 3 of those batters, 1+ hit, you get a parlay of -106. So I do believe that is worth it. If they don't get 2+ bases, you can get the hit the parlay, you cash easily as well. So, but we're taking the 2+ bases for sure for Bobby Witt Jr.
I like it, actually. I really do. I like to tell people if they don't know already, he is the future captain of the USA team of World Baseball. You don't get brought in at 20 years old to sit on the bench for nothing. I'll tell you that. They could have put anybody on that team. They wanted him on that team, guys, and that's because it's going to be his team, guys. He is the future of USA baseball, baby. So those showing up for the recap of Hit and Run with LJ. He's got a nice little 3-pack today. He's going to start off with what is the hottest hitter in baseball. Julio Rodriguez over 1.5 bases at -106. And then he's going to come right back. And a guy who's hot at home, and a guy who's got good numbers versus this pitcher. And this is Austin Riley over 1.5 bases as well. And that one was at even money. He's going to end his day with Bobby Witt Jr. We're going to be out here in Oakland, though, and he's going to take him for over 1.5 bases at +106, as well as parlaying all three of them up just for a hit at -106. Appreciate you, my boy, as always. It's good when you do get to make it. When you don't, I get it. Life comes through. You got to work, but it's always fun talking baseball. Let them know where to find you and what you got going on.
Oh man, they can find me always on Twitter at LJ Sports Media. And I will be on with Jimmy tonight, man. Live capping these games today. So tune in, Pub Sports Radio tonight with Jimmy Bag. We're going to be breaking down all the baseball games tonight, making some money like we always do on the live stream, my friend. So tune in.
Tune in. Until next time.
And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better. See, I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy.
Yeah, if that don't pump you up, I don't know what will. Maybe I'll get you some Beethoven and some freaking nuts on your chin, because yeah, on this show we will talk the first line open up on a K-prop, also the best line available 30 minutes prior to the show. Then we will see where the value lies between the books and PrizePicks. Of course, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS. Get a match deposit on your first deposit up to $100, minimum of $25. And we start our day, guys, with one of the newer segments on this show, and we like to call it the Titty Capper Play of the Day, where it's not always a K-prop. It's just the one prop that everyone and their mom, including your favorite titty capper, is giving out as their best bet. Everybody likes titties, right? We talking Aaron Nola versus the Giants, number 15 in the black book, striking people out at a 25.5% clip, while walking people 6.5% of the time. Open them up 7+ +112 on FanDuel to the best line available to that 6.5 is +106 on FanDuel. PrizePicks has them at a flat 6, whereas hits allowed under over are a 5. Projected lineup is 5 lefties, 4 righties for Los Gigantes today. We're going to start our day, guys, in what looks to be a great spot if we look at the overall numbers, as they're walking above league average, striking out 25% of their at-bats, while being one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to isolated power over the last 15 days. And when I look at his props, it's a whole lot of going on here, guys, so hear me out. As they don't want to give us action, guys, on his outs and not put it at 18.5 at plus money. They give us a -175 to a -190 on his over 17.5. Well, like we said with Strider, guys, there looks to be the parlay piece of the day if you're looking to pull some juice down. Now, second issue here, guys, they're fucking with this K prop. They give us a bettable 6.5 with Nola plus money. Plus money? For a spot that says he should be out there a long time and just hum, with the same winning percentage to this 6.5 that Giolito had to his 6.5, yet they bumped Giolito up to a 7.5 and left Nola at plus money? Man, something just don't feel right about that, guys. It's like they have open arms to an over, as I don't know how many people or any people betting this man's under today, guys. We also have his earned runs at even money to the over 2.5. Yet he's given up 3 or more in 6 of his last 10 games. Yet the juice should be flipped. So if we go off what the books are saying, he's going 7 innings, giving up less than 3 earned runs and not striking out 7 today. So let's go see how Nola has done when he has gone 7 or more innings, like I do have him projected going today. And yeah, guys, he's only 4-3 to the over 6.5 when going 7 or more innings. And in no way am I saying bet Nola under, as we do have Nola at home in his candy cane jersey. We're not just this year, but going back through his whole career, guys, it's been over 1.5 strikeouts better from at home than on the road. So at the end of the day, like, what's going on? We also have Nola on get back day, where granted it's not double get back day because that's the shit, guys. As this year he has had back-to-back clunkers, but he's never had 3 in a row, where last year it was never back-to-back clunkers. And this man gave up 4 runs in 5 innings last week. So let's go check up on how Nola, guys, has been over the last 10 weeks. And he's 6-4 to the over on his K prop his last 10, with all 4 losses coming to the 6.5, going 2-4 to the 6.5, while going 4-0 to the times that they dropped them down to a 5.5. So I have to wait for lineups to see if I go Giants team total under full game, or there's no way I can just jump on his K prop here. Even though I lean and I want it and I want to bet it, there's just something in my stomach that says, man, why are they sitting here with open arms singing Kumbaya, bet me, Kumbaya? Now, we talk about it all the time. It doesn't always mean they're right. But so far, since we just started bullshitting around the track, and it's 3-0 to betting it to the under. So if you're fading the titty capper play of the day, you're 3-0. If you're betting it, we know how that goes, guys. So I'm just saying it doesn't always mean faded. I just look at it as like, man, I'll just stay off of it then. I'm not trying to fuck around. It hits at about a 70% to the books. And when you're paying juice usually, guys, and I granted this ain't juice. And I get it. People will probably talk about alting him down and this or that. And why am I going to alt a guy down that's going to have a problem hitting fucking 7? Like, huh? That just I just don't see any type of what reason or for doing that, other than you. I don't know. I just don't see it. So the books are telling me he gets 6, dead on 6. And I'm just okay with betting him another way, as I do expect him to shove today. Just don't think the strikeouts are going to be there. And if they are, so be it. But something's telling me not today, Junior. Not today. Then we're going to head into James Paxton at the Astros, number 29 in the black book, striking people out this year 26.5% of the time, while walking people 6.5% of the time. Open them up 6+ at +112 on FanDuel to the best line available to the 5.5 is now on MGM at +115. PrizePicks has them at a flat 5, whereas pitching outs under over are at a 17. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties for your Astros. Now we get James Paxton versus the no-fly zone and the Astros. And when we go look at their numbers over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties, they're walking top of the food train, striking out middle of the pack, and destroying the ball with a league-high isolated power of 255. Yeah, that's absurd to say the least. So let's go see who they seen in these numbers that only go back to August 4th for those 200 plate appearances. And Black Jesus got baptized as Luzardo didn't make it 4 innings, giving up 6 earned runs while only punching out 3. Braxton Garrett pitched a great game, 5 innings of no-run ball while only striking out 1. But let me talk to you. It wasn't that great, guys, as he worked his ass off that day as the Astros left 24 runners on base that day. Tyler Anderson didn't make it to the 5th inning, giving up 7 earned runs. Well, he did strike out 6. Well, Reed Detmers didn't come close, not going 3 innings, giving up 7 runs while striking out 0. They also baptized Carlos Rodon. He didn't go more than 3 innings, giving up 5 runs while also punching out 5. Now, the outlier here was Nestor Cortez, and he went 4 innings on a pitch count and struck out 8 Astros of 1-run ball. And this did open up at +112, guys, and it got bet and bet up. And I was like, okay. As when I look at Paxton versus other left-handed no-fly zones, he did have a great game versus Cleveland, going 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. But fuck, Cleveland can't hit for the life of them. And when you're out there that long, there will be plenty of opportunities to hit that. And then he also had 3 strikeouts versus the Nationals in another solid 6 innings. But once again, they weren't hitting lefties when he's seen them. And like the Guardians, the Nationals, yes, they're in the no-fly zone, but they are also both in the top 10 in chase percentage. So at times they can run up those strikeouts and have a bad day. When I look at past history, guys, I really don't understand why it wasn't a 4.5 juiced. Like, I get it. Maldonado loves striking out to this man. As in 11 bats, he struck out 6 times. Well, I hope Paxton doesn't stay in the game that long enough to see him 3 times, guys, because that may be the death of me right here. But the other 3 guys in this lineup who have seen Paxton at least a decent amount of bats, we've got 3 of the top 4 guys in Altuve, Bregman, and Jordan, who are only striking out at a 17.5% clip of their at bats versus this man in his career. So I did go half unit under 5.5 at -125, guys. And the money came into the over, then it's coming right back in on the under, guys. As you're just gonna have to fucking cook me at the end of the day. When I went and back through and looked through his pitch mix, this guy throws his fastball 55% of the time. You don't want to throw your fastball 55% of the time tonight, bud. So if this man does go over his outs prop, which I thought about betting his outs under, he still has the chance of not hitting his K prop, guys. So I ended up pulling the trigger on the under 5.5 for a half unit on Paxton Strikeout today. Now we're going to get into La Piedra Day, and we're talking Luis Castillo at the White Sox, number 22 in the black book, striking people out 27.5% of the time while walking people 6% of the time. Morning line was 7+ at +108 on FanDuel, where the best line available now is at that -102 to that 6.5. And that's where PrizePicks has them as well, whereas hits allowed on PrizePicks are under over at a flat 5. Projected lineup today is 5 righties and 4 lefties. La Pareda Day, guys, as we get actual value if we want on his over today. As we get a number based straight off of win percentage and no juice added on or taken off, as the White Sox numbers over the 15 days, they actually say no to a K prop if you're looking at their K percentage, as they're only striking out 22% of their at bats. But they're also not walking and not hitting, which means La Pareda can be out there for 6 to 9 innings today and have ample opportunities to hit this over. And it's not just the K percentage of the Sox that where we get value on this line. It's how he pitched in his last game, as people have way too much recency bias when it comes to someone's last game. Castillo went 7 innings last week and only had 3 strikeouts versus the Royals. Okay. How often does this man go 7 innings and not have 7 or more? And not counting the no-fly zone teams or a team that he's seen the second time after slaying them the first. How about he's 3-0 to the over every other time he's gone 7 innings, guys. So, yeah, not really tripping about it. 2 games he had 9, another game he had 7, and that 7 was versus a no-fly zone. So the only way I can look right now is over. And let's go do a little more digging. And then I might have paused in my tracks because of who they faced. And yikes, have they faced some hogs in the last 15 days. And these hogs ain't been striking out these White Sox. Let's start off with the Brewers 3-pack, guys. As Freddie Peralta, he went 6 innings, had 6 strikeouts of no-run ball. Brandon Woodruff went 6.1 innings of 2-run ball, but just had 5 Ks. Burns got torched, going 5 innings, 5 earned runs with another 5 strikeouts. Garrett Cole, he went 7 innings of 4-run ball. He only had 3 strikeouts. And I guess I got to go rethink that over, huh? Holy fuck. They've seen some studs and they ain't hitting, guys, and none even came close to those 7 strikeouts, but Peralta. So now I do have 2 keys to run a Castillo K prop over, guys. And if I get that whiff and non-chase contact, I got to ignore these studs that ain't hit and just go for it, guys. So when the lineup comes out, I will run the chase contact percentage and the whiff numbers overall, and then go by player and make sure I have more in the lineup that will whiff and not make contact than just the overall numbers being like, yeah, it looks great. Like I say all the time, guys, the overall numbers can just pull it apart, look at it one by one as well, and make sure the action is still in there, guys. So we've talked about it. I talked about his 2 key spots. His 2 keys happens to actually match up with the key that I use for the White Sox, and that's high velocity. This man do got that high velo, and he's not afraid to crank it up there. Now, we've got 3 keys that can unlock a fucking ladder, in my opinion, in this spot. Now, with Giolito getting scratched and the game being canceled, I ended up going back and just adding more and more and more on to some of these write-ups. And that's where I got here is we're going to just start talking and talk this through. So I had time to go look at the lineups and redo all the lineups. So the projected lineup is done. I have everything from chase contact to whiff to past plate appearances done for this guy. And there may be an issue at the top of the lineup, as like I said, the keys with this guy is whiff and chase contact. And the 2 guys at the top is Andrus and Benintendi. Rut-row. 2 guys who do not whiff and who make good contact while chasing. So those are 2 bad things, right? Well, they actually have some plate appearances versus this guy, and they've only struck out 2 of their combined, I believe it was 12 at-bats. Not good. Then the other guy in this lineup that whiffs at league average, but does not chase. When he chases, he does make contact, is Yasmani Grandal. Now, Grandal is projected in the 5 or 6 hole, and this dude's batting .385 with only 4 strikeouts in 17 at-bats. And those were the 3 guys who can give this man an issue today, guys. So if he could just get 1 strikeout off of those 3 guys and like 9 times, maybe even 11 times seeing them, he hits the 7, in my opinion, with this projected lineup. Now, if he gets more than 1 versus those guys, that's where that ladder plays into, guys. So we have 5 guys in this lineup that are 1.5% worse in league average in whiff and in chase contact percentages, with 1 guy just being straight league average across the board. So we have ample opportunities to get 2 from 5 different people, maybe even 3 guys. So yeah, there's no way I can look under, guys. It's either over or I let it go, but it's going to be tougher than what it should be because of the 2 jackasses they have leading off with Tim Anderson out the game, as in Andrus and Benintendi are elite when it comes to not whiffing at pitches and making contact when they chase. Now we end the day, guys, with Jordan Montgomery at the D-backs. Number 45 in the black book is striking people out at a 22% of the time, while walking people 6.5% of the time. Open them up 5+ at -120 on FanDuel, where the best line available is still -120, just now on MGM. PrizePicks has them at a 4.5, whereas earned runs under/over are at a 2.5 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup is 8 righties, 1 lefty. Jordan Montgomery now gets his second matchup with these D-backs this year. This time, it's in a different jersey, as back on April 18th, he got baptized. He went only 4 innings, 7 hits with 10 earned runs, and only striking out Dose. Now, when we look at the overall numbers, it don't look like it's going to get much easier for this man, as the D-backs are best in the league at walking and not striking out the lefties over the past 200 plate appearances, yet they are also 20th in the league when it comes to isolated power. And when we look at Monty and how he's done versus other no-fly zones, he went 5 innings and just 3 strikeouts versus the Guardians, and also went 7 innings versus the Astros and had himself 6 that day. And those are the only other no-fly zones that he's seen. So I did some deep digging on Monty today, as he has had 3 games with the Rangers since the trade deadline. 3 different catchers as well, guys, with the one constant factor being his breaking ball percentage has gone up from 39% with the Cardinals to 40% his first time, 44% a second time, to a dead even split last week versus the Angels. And when Monty faced the D-backs back in April, he only threw 42% breaking balls, with only 8 of them being changeups. If we get Heim, who I think we do get from the reports I read from Bochy after the last start with him behind the plate versus the Angels, he threw out his cutter last week. He went strictly 4-seam, sinker, changeup, and curve, with almost a dead split to the changeup and curve. And these guys didn't see a changeup last time they faced them. Like, they saw like whopping 8 changeups the last time they faced this man. Also, what they didn't see was a four-seam fastball. They only saw 10 of his 52% or 62% of his fastballs last time he faced them were four-seamers, while the rest were cutters. So at first I leaned under, and I thought it would be an easy under. And then I was like, got to digging. And if Heim is catching him today, there's just no way I could even put my money on this under or over. This is a spot where late in the season, I'm going to learn a lesson. And if Heim is the golden ticket, and if this dude has switched up his pitch mix like it has looked like, Monty maybe just bet on, as the books aren't going to have enough time to catch up to him by the time the year's over with. So what was I thought was an easy under, which still may be. And if they go to what they did last week, I think this man hits it. I think he goes 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, and I just can't fuck around to find out. I'm willing to not put my money on a lesson and just learn if I will be backing Jordan Monty for the next 5-6 weeks. And if you're on the over, I would say just make sure you got Hyman behind the lineup. That guy dealt. The reports about him, then Bochy talking about him, it all looked like pointing to he would catch him again, because he did have a beautiful game last week. Crazy to say. So now we're going to run through the mother trucking chat and read out some of the best bets that people did leave in for it. Appreciate you all for popping in. Mike M, I get you. Let's get it. Underrated, the truth, the one with the who makes the best intros in the damn world. Appreciate you. Rocco Rogers is going to be on Jose Altuve over 1.5 bases at even money for his best bet. Where, Justin McAlvoy's coming in with the We Be Pubbin' Astros over 19. That's not the team total, but that's the full game. And I actually like that. I do really like that. I think they both get popped today. Now, if one doesn't get popped, it's probably, I know it's crazy to say this because I'm betting against him, but James Paxton, because at the end of the day, good pitching beats good hitting, and Javier just ain't been good. No, let me talk to you. So appreciate you guys all for else popping in here. We got Tom Miggins on J-Rod, 1.5 hits at plus 185 for the level pod today. And Luke Murphy over 17.5 outs, minus 150. Well, that's a beautiful bet. Let me check that up real quick before I tell you that's a beautiful bet and make sure it ain't no trappy. But I believe he has a 50% win rate to the 6.5. And that just means they're adding on mass juice to it. So I'm willing to pay the juice when I'm pretty sure the guy goes 6. Now, the dude shits the bed. He shits the bed. That happens in baseball, but, I can't cap that. Now, Nola has gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 50% win rate to the over 6 innings. I think that's a great bet, Luke Murphy. I think it's a great bet. If I can find that juice elsewhere, that's the type of bet I'll be looking to get on myself. So definitely like that. Will pay minus 150. No problemo any time of the week. So, appreciate you guys all. If you haven't, smash that damn like button, as it does help people find the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. Today, guys, we only had 4 pitchers going in the black book, with Giolito's game being canceled. So the only bet I have in without lineups is a half unit on the under 5.5 strikeouts at minus 125 for your boy, James Paxton, at my Astros. I say at my Astros as a Dodger fan, but I bet the Astros probably 4 times the 1 when it comes to betting baseball, to betting my own team. I don't bet my own team unless I have a clear-cut damn reason of getting in on them. And as you all know, I have an over 70% win percentage, whether it's props, totals, sides. It may be near 80, guys, when I bet a Dodgers game, guys, because I just watch them so much, and I can't really enjoy the game if I have money on it. It's a lot harder to enjoy it, let's just say. So I like to enjoy baseball. I do. Appreciate you guys all. As you know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PubSports. You're going to get a match deposit on your first deposit of $100, minimum of $25 by using the best promo code on God's green earth, PubSports, that is. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks, produced by Big Show Picks, and our special guest today was LJ from Houston. You can find me tonight on Jimmy the Bag's live bet stream, and I will drop off all the other bets I have before the games start. As let's make the damn money. Let's get to the monies, guys. Yeah.
Keep firing, assholes!